Peace, God. Peace, Vandals and Vandalettes. It's the God Mathematics, and you now watching the Vandal Hour Season 7 live on S.STREET Media. Make sure you check us out whenever we come on. Obviously, we pick and choose when we want to come on, so we come on when the fuck we want to come on. But make sure you check us out on all our streaming platforms, our new website, www.sstreetmedia.net, or you could go to the old one, sstreetmedia.info. Make sure you check out all the other shows besides the Vandal Hour. We have a list of shows. You can also catch us on our new platform, Spotify, and on Anchor.fm. This joint will be up there with the other joints, the NISO, the STEM, the Hops, Apple, Broadway Apple, the clothing line, and all the other joints we have up there from past seasons. But you could catch us on Google Podcasts and on other joints. We are also on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and all them platforms also. So let me give a shout out to all the Vandal Hour guards and goddesses that came before me. Brat, Giggles, Greaseball, J-Lo, Mathematics, Facts on Wax, E Sinatra, June 457, Sosa, Dre Kill Films, Bring That Back Dude, DJ Quest, Mr. 13, Buyer 3, Reps, Guest, DJ Swift, DJ EA, and Darwin Queens. Those are the ones that came before me. So I must give those that gave me my opportunity their props. Also, shout out to all of our followers and supporters. Our numbers is looking good. We appreciate you for supporting what we have been doing for going on 6 years. So shout out to everyone who supports Brazil, Germany, everybody. We're also going through a crisis right now, so shout out to everyone who's going through this crisis, this coronavirus thing, this COVID-19 thing. There's a lot of people losing their loved ones, so rest in peace to everyone. We have lost all our elders, and peace to the gods and earths. Today's mathematics is knowledge born or being born to knowledge cipher. Make sure you stay in tune. So now, man, it's the moment, man. I told you season 7 will be the God season, man. We have a lot of important people that is coming through because of this crisis over the phone. So I got a special one for y'all, man. You know, a very special one, man. I know you've been wanting to hear some from people that y'all don't get to hear from. So I got someone, man, who I'm going to say, you know, is killing shit for real, man. I'm going to say all city, man, because I've been in all the boroughs and seen this motherfucker up in the most illest spots that you may think of. His placement is always great, as a motherfucking writer's supposed to be. He is the infamous, and I'm going to say that truthfully, the infamous Z.B. Yeah. Peace to the God. How you doing?
Peace. How you? I'm cool and maintaining.
Man, you've been wrecking shit, man. You've been wrecking shit. You've been doing what the fuck you've been doing. How it feels to be like one of the top ones in NYC, man, right now.
I mean, it's regular. You know, I do what I do when I could do it. I'm not out there every night, but I'm out there. I choose my health over fame. You feel me?
I feel you, man. I'm going to say this, man. For a person who have done a lot in a short period time, man, how do you do this, man?
I actually study the street killers who came before me when it comes to, like, placement and choosing spots. Like a smart graffiti writer pick and chooses what he writes on. A dumb writer writes on everything that's possible. But I learned from street killers like VFR, Easy, people of that stature, JAVE, you know, like when they paint, like they make sure the placement is worth the risk.
So the placement is very important, is what you're saying.
It's all about placement. Like the Buff, they paint a lot of stuff. I see that on the regular, but I'm trying to, like, the way I paint, like, I choose my spots. Everything is strategic. I want somebody to walk down the block and see my shit and be like, yo, how the fuck he pulled that off? How he got away with that? But most importantly, like 10, 20 years from now, like I still want people to see my shit. So I make sure I could choose the best placement possible. Like it's almost like a scientist finding a dinosaur bone. Like when people find my shit, I want it to be to like finding one of T-Rex tooth when you walking somewhere. It's always about placement. You gotta make sure it's perfect.
I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I was somewhere, right, and I seen one on like it was a crazy spot. Like I would not have thought of writing on it, but it was definitely a very interesting spot. It was like a light, and the metal of the light. You wrote on the metal of the light, and it was actually your one line. It was crazy, man. It's crazy, man. You got your placement is definitely respected, man. From me. I see that you name some people like that definitely was killing shit in the past. Outside of those, man, do you have any other influencers or any influences? Pardon me on that.
As far as like picking up a spray can and doing what I do, like the train arrow, which made me pay attention to graffiti, like seeing the whole carts, like you sitting in a station and shit, and you just see a whole cart pulling, and you looking at it like, yo, how the fuck they got away with that? Like, how did they do that? I mean, there's a few people, like, I used to have a four-letter tag. I ain't even gonna talk about that at the moment. And some, like, the four letters, they get up, but the two letters, that's where it's at. And, like, you could fit a two-letter anywhere. Some of the people I seen, like, who has some dope two letters, who actually has some pretty nice placement, especially when it came to the trains, was my homie PG-ism, this dude named KP down with the WR crew. Like, these dudes have some fresh two letters. Another dude is FN Floater Nasty. Like they have some fresh two letters. So those are some other heavy influences when it comes to like style wise. Like
Who would you what would you say to a person who says, "Yo, man, the two-letter thing is cheating, man. That they cheating." What would you say to them?
I mean, it's not cheating. It's actually not. Because the same amount of shit that a person could do with a four letter, like I do fills with a two letter that's the size of people four letters on like hot boy spots, and that shit is not easy to do. Like that shit takes time. Like and I don't go bombing with people. I go bombing by myself. Sometimes I go out there with my shorty, and like her shit is five letters. Two letters is not cheating. I see people who got four-letter fills, five-letter fills, and certain spots like they do two-letter fills.
That's a fact. That's a fact. You're 100% correct, man. You do a one-liner, man. Do you do the one-liner for time, or is it a style thing?
No, it's not time. When it comes to my one-liner flow, like there's two people who inspire me. Like with the one-liners, one dude is actually one of my homies. He go by, his tag is Peak. His crew is VRC, the original.
Shout out to Peak.
And my other influence when it comes to the one-liner is Spec BTC from the Bronx. Like both of these dudes have some pretty dope one-liners, and that, mind you, like both of their tags is four letters, but they was doing one-liners, two-letter fills. And when they do they one-liners, like they one-liners overlap. When I came up with my one-liner, I wanted to make sure both letters still connect and they both give each other the proper shine without overlapping. Like this shit took me months, like to figure out what name was still available, because you got a lot of people who pop up on the scene and they steal other people's names. And when I came on the scene, I wanted my style and I wanted my name to be original. And from all the knowledge and research I did, there was never nobody before me with the name Z Beat.
I never seen it. I never seen it.
If somebody come after me, they're a carbon copy. You're gonna remember mine first because it stands out the best.
That's a fact, man. That's a fact. New York right now, Because of this COVID-19 coronavirus shit, it's pretty quiet right now, man. Do you think that has influence on what the bombers is doing right now or should be doing right now?
There's a virus going on in the street. There's a lot of people killing shit right now at the moment, but some of them I respect because they was actually out there in these streets doing a thing before the COVID-19 came along. And now, since COVID-19 popped up on the scene, like, you got people who haven't been painting, and, like, some people haven't been painting in 10 years. Some people haven't been painting in 5 years. And all of a sudden, the COVID-19 hit the streets. Now they want to hit the streets. And I honestly want the COVID-19 to go away so a lot of these people could go back home.
Mmm. Mmm. That's deep.
These are conversations I have behind the scenes with some of my friends, and I'm talking about, like, the E-Light people. Like, they witnessed the same things I witnessed. Like, they know who was out there in these streets before the COVID-19 came along, and they know who popped up on the scene because the COVID-19 is out there.
That's a fact. That's a fact. I definitely understand where you coming from on that. Definitely. Bombing wise, I don't get I like to have people who's active on the show. I don't get too many really active. So I want to keep the theme of this conversation to be like on a bombing thing. So you're somebody who's doing it. So I just want to get your perspective on things. Bombing wise, what don't you like about the culture?
What
You
I don't like
don't
about
like?
the culture, what I don't like about the culture bombing was a lot of people bombing, like, they don't got style. I see a lot of people bombing wise, like, they go over history, like, they don't respect history. This new generation is very disrespectful. And I don't like that. I wish they would respect history, and I actually wish, like, the few people who are out there, like, bombing, like, I actually wish, like, they respect their style and perfect it. Like, all right, it's cool to be all city or whatnot. It's cool to be global. But if you're not progressing, then what's the sense of you going out there bombing? Like, a lot of people, like, they're not going to take notice to you because your style hasn't improved. And a lot of these people think people be hating on them. And that's not even the case. Like, we respect bombers. We just want to see your progress and do better. So don't think people hating on you. Sometimes we try to talk to y'all, and y'all think we shitting on y'all because y'all younger than us, and that's not even the case. But I like to see everybody out there bombing, doing their damn thing. It's not easy. Some people think this shit is easy, and it's not.
That's a fact. Do you receive any negative energy um, from the culture?
I see a few people hate on me here and there. I don't care about that shit. Like, back in the days, like, in my old mind state and the old person that I used to be, that shit used to get me pissed off. Now, I see people hate, I laugh at it. One thing I don't like, though, is, like, people, like, New York City, like, we have some shit called NYC graffiti. That's the buff. These dudes are in the field every day, cleaning spots, painting spots. And one thing I do hate about the bombing culture at the moment, like, a dude to see you rock an outline on the gate, and they probably wasn't even thinking about that spot. And it could be 10 gates on that block that's clean, and they'll hit the gate that you got your outline rocking on, and they'll leave the other 10 alone. That shit right there irritates me, and I see a lot of that going on right now. I even see friends going over friends, and I think that shit is corny. Like, your man will rock an outline on the gate, and then you come and pop a fill over his shit. I don't like shit like that.
Especially when it's space right there, like obviously there's like space right there, and then you choose exactly where that person who had the outline is at to go do your shit.
Yeah, like, as I'm talking to you right now, like, I'm looking out my window, and I see 6 blank gates. And out of the 6 blank gates that I see, There's two more gates will make it a total of 8 gates, and these two gates have tags on them. One of them got like an outline on it from some old school dude, and the crazy shit is like somebody will come down the block right now, and like they won't hit the six clean gates. They'll go after number 7 and number 8 just because they got graffiti on it already. And some people like the way they view things. They're like, yo, if these two gates got the tags on it, then if I rock a fill on it, then this gate is going to live. And 9 times out of 10, that shit ain't true. Like, you might rock your fill on that gate, and either the owner of the building or the buffer come and paint that gate. And somebody else will hit those other 6 blank gates and rock an outline or a tag on it, and like those shits will rock longer than that gate you just did the fill on.
That is true. That is true. That's a fact.
We
Yeah.
actually live in an age right now where it's not about respect no more. Everybody want to be seen. That's the thing these days. Like, everybody want to be seen. It's look at me, look at me, look at me. Like, I see people catching tags like on gates, like there's mass space on the gate, and somebody will come, they'll catch a tag next to your shit, side busting you. Not only side busting you, like they'll tag or nip yours and go all into yours, whether it's a tag or outline. And then when you call them out on their bullshit, they'll get mad at you for calling them out for their lack of respect. That's something I hate about this bombing culture right now.
Especially in NYC where there's so much space. Should we still be seeing nips with all the space? You know what I mean? Nips is from like when you had to squeeze in somewhere, you know?
We shouldn't be seeing nips at all.
That's a fact.
The crazy thing is too, like one thing I do hate about this bombing culture at the moment, everybody got access to jetpacks. And they're using it wrong.
Explain that.
Like, I see people with jetpacks, right? Like, say for instance, 17 a flash, like they'll hit a rooftop, right? And they'll hit the roof where everything is strategic, where everything's supposed to be where it's at. And you got some kids, like, they'll see, like, 17 and flash popping up all over the gram. And they'll go out later that night with their jetpack, and they'll squeeze their fills in those particular blink spots that they left, knowing there's no room there. And I don't think people should be doing that. I think if you should do your same homework like they do and find your own rooftop and pop your own roof cherry or do that thing.
Do you
I
think,
mean,
not to cut you, do you think that these people do homework?
nah, they don't do homework. They spot jock. I see a lot of that going on. Like, I was actually walking down Atlantic Avenue earlier today, and I seen, like, a few rooftops. Like, some of the fills on the roof was old as hell. Like, the bottom half was old. And flashing one of his peoples, like, they did floaters all the way, like, at the top, giving space to the others and respect to the others that came before them. And this one dude, like, he had to have his fill, like, shining on that same exact roof that they did. Instead of cranking his ladder a little higher, he squeezed his spot, like nipping the bottom part of the history and nipping the bottom part of the flash fill and his man fill just so he could get his shine on. A lot of shit people don't have to do. I see them, like, I see toys do it to each other. I see a few OGs do it to each other. I know if I had a jetpack, I'd be putting that shit on street spots and catching floater tags, like on walls. Some people don't think about shit like that. They just, oh, this nigga got a jetpack, I'm gonna get a jetpack, I'm gonna hit that roof. There's so much shit that you could do out there with a jetpack, but nobody sees the bigger picture of a jetpack. I actually honestly hate jetpacks. Back in the days, you had to rip a ladder down, or stack a garbage, flip a garbage can over and stand on top of a garbage can just to do a high spot.
Factual.
Back in the days when people actually had rooftops, like, we didn't have jetpacks. Like, a nigga actually stood on his man's shoulders to rock a fill on a rooftop.
They don't know about that, God. They don't know about
They,
that.
they
don't know
actually do
about
that shit in Brazil.
Yeah, you be seeing them like, and it be multiple of them, like, not like more than one. Like, I didn't see like they make the ladder, the human ladder. That's crazy. Let me say,
Yeah, but you actually gotta have body strength for that, though. You know.
how you feel about the Brazilian aspect of GRAFF, like how they doing it, how they throwing it up?
I love that shit, honestly. Like, these niggas will scale a whole building just to, like, get their point across. That shit is pretty dope to me.
I agree, man. It seems more. It seems next level. It seems
There's
next
actually
level.
a There's actually this Brazilian dude. I forgot what his tag is, but that nigga came from Brazil and he came to New York and like shit that New Yorkers wasn't even doing. Like he was doing like scaling poles of buildings and catching tags from like the top of the building all the way down to ground level. I even seen that shit on a bridge the other day when I was driving across it. Shit looked pretty ill to me. I'm like, yo, like that's some next level shit right there.
You ever seen what's the two dudes, Kid and somebody, Kid and something else? That dude they scale like the fucking water tanks and stuff like that.
Oh, Kid and PK. Yeah,
Yeah, man.
those dudes they catch wreck. You see a lot of they shit when you go into Jersey.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Where
On the rock, I seen like someone like on the top of the rocks and shit like that.
you know who's one of the illest dudes not to cut you off
No.
when it comes to this climate shit, and he's a New York native, Nairo.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Even the tags. Even the tags. I done seen the
Yeah, that's
tags
what I'm talking
high.
about. When it comes to his tags and outlines, like he don't use no jetpack or nothing. Like he's on some next level shit. I seen one spot he did, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like, how did he get up there?
Yeah, I love those. And between me and you and GRAFF, I love to see some of those. Like how they do that one, man. Like right now, I'm seeing this dude Gain and Texas. They're doing some real like wild, crazy shit. But some of them things I'd be like, how did they do that? You know what I mean?
That's one of the things I love about graffiti. How you do that type of shit. You know, as a person who always used to do shit like that, that when I was coming up, like I always seen shit like that. Like VE used to do a lot of that shit. He still got stuff that I come across till this present day. Like I be seeing spots that I never saw before, and I'm like, how the fuck did he get up there? Like I love shit like that.
I've been seeing some ZBs and some weird places like that also recently. I'm not going to say no names, but you know I've been seeing some things in some unorthodox places.
I haven't seen that dude on the streets in a minute.
No ZB,
You,
ZB,
yeah, I haven't seen that dude on the street in a minute. I be seeing his shit in weird places too, though.
like crazy, crazy, crazy. Like I done seen some, and I'm like, oh, okay, okay.
It's all
Um,
about placement.
His placement is very, very important, man. Do you feel that racking is a lost art?
What?
Is racking a lost art?
To some extent, it's getting harder for people to do because you got like a lot of stores got LP in them. Some stores they went to the streams where they got like facial recognition.
Mm. Get out of here in stores.
Yeah, I've been doing research, like reading about stuff like that. Certain places you go, like before the economy crashed and everything closed up, like some spots, like they pay attention to people like criminal backgrounds. So like if you got like racking on your rap sheet and shit, like and if you got caught in stores, like stores take pictures of your mugshots. So like if you come in a store and like they never see you buy nothing, they pay attention to shit like that, and shit could be critical. Like you could get banned from stores where you can't even walk in a store.
Wow, man. Wow.
Racking that shit. You gotta have talent to do that shit. Like not everybody could do that either.
That's a fact. That's a fact. I don't be honest with you. Um, I don't really hear about it like back in the days. You know what I mean? Like there's certain individuals that's known for it, but it's not before. That was like common amongst everyone. Like now is like it's certain individuals that do what they do. Back in the
I
days.
actually seen this dude racking a few days ago. Like I was in Home Depot looking for some Lysol and shit, 'cause that shit is actually hard to find right now. And I seen some dude like I'm walking up the escalator. This nigga's throwing shit in his coat, and I'm like, oh shit! And like, I wouldn't even suspect him to be racking, and like the nigga beeped out. Me and him happened to be walking the same route because I was walking to work and he was walking to his stash spot. Son dumped his shit in a garbage can. He went back to go to Home Depot. That nigga walked off. I peeked inside the garbage to see what the nigga racked. And the nigga was racking drills. And this is true story. This was a dude in like a business suit. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this nigga's racking? This nigga should be pulling out credit cards swiping. But shit was crazy. That shit had me type hyped though. I was about to go back to Home Depot and go get some other shit.
What do you like? You know, I know you're a person who's very in tune, pay attention, like on a travels. Whenever you maneuvering, you really paying attention to what's going on. What's some of the crazy shit you've been seeing since this COVID-19 thing hit us?
Since COVID-19 hit, there's a lot of wild shit going on. Like, I ain't gonna say what type of job I do, but when I be at work doing what I do and shit, like I see like a lot of those wagons at the hospitals where they put the bodies in.
Mm.
Like I happened to drive past Bellevue recently, and like they had like one like on the street, like just parked it, and they had like 10 of them shits on the loading dock, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck? This shit is crazy.
Wow.
I never seen like. It's wild out here. Like, actually, the other day, I was actually taking a picture of a spot that I did, and some prostitute was trying to holler at me, and I blew off, like, nah, I'm good. And I go, like, around the corner to the spot that I hit, and the same prostitute, I see her in the front of some dude truck giving him slow neck, and I'm like, ew, that is disgusting.
Wow. Wow. I know you pay attention, so I know that if you wrote a book or did a photo album type book, I know you'll be paid because you definitely be seeing a lot of, you know, we talk. You definitely you ain't a person who get to see like what the average person who lives in New York don't see.
Yeah, I be seeing some shit. The reason why I found this particular activity disgusting, because, like, we're going through some shit right now. Like, you touch the wrong person and your ass could be hooked to a ventilator and a respirator, right? And you can't get no visitors. Your family can't even come see you. So that's one of the reasons I found this shit disgusting. The second reason I found this shit disgusting, like, the COVID-19's going around and this nigga's paying for like a blowjob. And the nigga had a mask on, but I'm like, this nigga probably don't even got no rubber on. This shit is disgusting. Then my mind starts thinking more. I'm like, yo, this nigga probably got a girl at home. He probably got some kids at home. And whatever you just like encountered, like you're going to take that shit home to your loved ones. And I'm like, yo, health is wealth. But at that moment, that nigga just wanted to spend his wealth and not protect his health. And that's horrible. Before you out there doing something crazy, you should really think about your loved ones. Some other shit I've been seeing lately, like on the trains, like the trains are horrible. They don't clean none of the trains. Like
That's
the
a
trains
fact.
are really starting to look like homeless shelters.
That's a fact. It looks
I've been
crazy.
seeing,
The E train. I pardons for cutting your wisdom, God, but the E train at after 2 o'clock in the morning is ridiculous.
man, not even after 2 o'clock in the morning, because sometimes I ride that train when I'm at work. Like, you could get on that shit at like 9:30 in the morning. Like, you might walk in a train car and the nigga sitting down butt naked. Yo,
That's a fact.
I kid you not. Like, I done walked in a few train cars. Like, I done seen some shit that say, "Yo, fuck it, I'm out." Like, I'll wait 30, 40 minutes for the next train. I done sat in train cars and shit. Like, I got my mask on. Like, I done heard somebody on the other side of the car coughing, and like they coughing sound kosher. Like, I done left the train. I'm not trying to get caught up in the rapture.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Let me bring you back to GRAFF for a second, man. What keeps you addicted to the game? What keeps you interested in the graph game?
Honestly, some of the new kids that's out, like those niggas keep me like paying attention to what's going on the board. They giving some of the old heads a run for their money, and some of my friends, like those niggas, like yo, these niggas is out here killing shit right now. Like I gotta go do what I do.
Mm.
Word.
What?
There's
No,
there's a
go.
few young dudes out there who doing a thing. Like one of my homeboys, like I remember this kid from back in the days, maybe like 5 years ago, like when he was first stepping on the scene, he wasn't even active like that. He was just catching tags here and there, random shit. But now, like this nigga's on the scene heavy, and he's been on the scene heavy before this COVID-19 popped off, and he goes by the name of Zers, Zers. He down with 2DX, CSF, OTL, like that boy catching wreck, and his fills and shit is nice.
I've been seeing those with the. It look like it's like two arrows on the end. It looks like two daggers on the end, right? Like it's pointing down.
Shit look like some Ninja Star type of shit.
True indeed.
It's all about symmetrics with his shit. Like when I see shit like that, I'm like, alright, I gotta go dust my cans off and go play around. When I see my nigga Dink and JA out there doing what they do, I'm like, yeah, I gotta go out there and do what I do. These niggas been around since like the late '80s, smoking shit, and they still running around. So when I see shit that they do, that shit gives me a spark to go out there and do what I do.
You feel these are the people that's keeping NYC Graph live right now?
That nigga JA got NYC graffiti lit right now. Like the shit that boy been doing lately, I'm like, yo, this nigga is wildin', but I love it.
Yeah, I've been definitely seeing him splashing, man. I've definitely been seeing him splashing. One with 17 and Giz, crazy, crazy. I've seen like some nice situations. Um, re-
Honestly, a lot of the shit I actually do in the streets, it's only for like two people to see. I really don't care about everybody else seeing my shit. I do this shit for my kids and so my girl could see the shit that I do. Other than that, I don't really care about nothing else.
mm. That's
I
so
do
so
get pictures.
it's
I
a
do get
personal
pictures
thing. It's
from
a
people.
personal thing. It's a personal thing for you.
It's personal. Some of that shit's a rush. Like some of the spots that I do, like when I be climbing high spots, like it's about a rush. That shit is like a high to me. But other than that, yeah, that shit is so like my loved ones could see it, and when my friends see it, they like, yo, this nigga still out here doing his thing, and that shit get them inspired to do things, you know?
So you like the thrill. You like the thrill.
Yeah, yeah. Like right now, like one of the thrills I get out of all of this shit. I mean, I always been going like hard in the paint, like even before this COVID-19 shit took place. But the thrill of this shit right now is like actually walking down the block. Cause right now I'm at like 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock. Like I'm actually in a house. Like I'll be asleep or getting my rest for tomorrow's work activities. But like while I'm at work at the moment, like I actually be out there doing what I do, and that's just a thrill within itself because it's daylight out. It's not too many people in the street. The only shit I'll be worried about is the cars or like the police spotting me because now like they got home field advantage, like where they can actually chase you and catch up to you. Like there's in Manhattan, like there's no cars to hide behind.
Mm.
Like you when you dipping from them, like you really gotta make sure like you get away. Like you gotta be Houdini on them.
And without the traffic of people and cars, you got to be more inventive.
Yeah, like at nighttime, like I don't go out at nighttime because they actually have tropical cores like to stop you right now. Because like, what are you doing outside like 12 at night? There's nothing open. Like everything is closed.
That's
You
a
know.
fact. That's a fact.
So I actually heard recently, like on Nostrand Ave and Eastern Parkway, like they was actually doing like a traffic stop, but they wasn't even stopping cars. Like they was stopping people on foot, like checking their IDs, like to see why they're outside. Like they want to know why you're outside at a certain time. Like I don't need that type of attention. Like the less you know about me, the better off I am.
That's a fact. Let me say this. In GRAFF, this is my opinion. In GRAFF, it seems like it's split into two sides. One side is the villains, and one side is the heroes. What side do you fit into?
I don't fit into none of that shit. I do my own thing. Like before, like I used to hang out with people. Like I learned the politics of this shit. I'm like, I don't got time for the politics. I don't got time. Like, yo, you getting mad at me because I might know this nigga and like that nigga's from the other side. I don't got time for none of that. That's why when you do see a lot of my shit, it's by myself. The only thing you gonna see next to my shit is Bunny or Brat.
I was gonna ask you about that. I see you rock out with them. What crews you be pushing? Do you push crews?
I push crews at the moment. The only crews I do push, and it's more like of a family base. Like I'm not the type of dude to run around push 30 crews. I only push 3. I push XTC, I push YKK, and I push PTP. I push PTP more than anything though.
Mm. What's the bond? What's the bond like with you and PTP?
Like if shit hit the fan, like I could call them up, like yo, like I need some help in a certain situations. Like like they'll come through for me. Like they keep me like PTP. They keep me focused. They keep me grounded. Like when I'm fucking up, like they have no problem with pulling me to the side. Like yo, you slipping, you slacking, like you bugging out. I don't think you should do that. And I respect their opinions. Like the opinions, I cherish them. So when they tell me something or like they call me out on my shit, I know they doing it out of love. I know they're not like there's nothing malice behind it.
Real friends.
Real friends. Like, and our friendship is beyond GRAFF. Like it's not even like our friendship is nothing GRAFF. Like we actually talk to each other more about life than graffiti. And I love shit like that. Like I actually love having conversations with people like where we don't even be talking about GRAFF. Like we be talking about real life shit. Like we be talking about like this economy shit that's going on, like how each other's families doing shit like that. Like or like how we can invest in a business. Like right now I'm actually trying to invest in the stock market, Like I'm trying to figure out a way like to make my money work for me. Even while I'm not working. If I'm working like where I'm chilling, like I could be sleeping, like I know like my shit is accumulating, like my shit is growing.
Best
Like
money.
that's the type of shit that we talk about. Like my old friends I used to hang around, like every time I would pop up on the scene with them, yo son, you heard about so and so, you heard about this crew. I'm like, yo fam, like nobody wanna hear that shit right now. It's been times like people talk to me about GRAFF related issues and I just spin off on them.
Who are you outside of GRAFF?
Outside of GRAFF, I'm a cool, funny ass dude. I'm a outside of GRAFF, I'm a son, I'm a father.
Mm. Do you like doing what do you like doing outside of GRAFF? If you could pick one of your pastime shit, what do you like to do outside of GRAFF? One of the things you like doing outside of GRAFF?
Outside of GRAFF, I like long walks, with people that are like chilling with people who like to do the same shit as me. I like playing pool. I like going to the movies. I like going to restaurants, trying different foods, I like reading books. I actually like to do art outside of like GRAFF and shit. Like I'm a pretty dope artist. Like I could draw my ass off.
Let's talk about that. I seen some of your works, man. What inspires you art wise to do art outside of the GRAFF thing?
Art when shit that made me want to do art when I'm going like into a doctor's office, when I'm going into like one of these buildings that's on Wall Street and like they have art in the hallways and shit. Like to me, like graffiti's fun, getting up and all of that shit in the streets is fun and all that, but like getting up in people's homes and getting up in doctors' offices Like that's the real deal fame right there to me. And I like when you walk in a building, like you actually see a piece of art that's not even graffiti related. Like I love shit like that. Like I actually do some art myself where I call it doctor's office art because it's the type of shit that you will walk and you would see it in the doctor's office.
You do shit on
One of my
canvases? We do it on canvas?
I used to do art on canvas, but at the moment, like I don't have the space to store all of that stuff. So I fuck with like fancy art paper. Like I do art on Bristol paper. I do art on watercolor paper. When if I don't got none of that laying around, I do art on regular loose leaf paper.
Mm. Interesting.
And
Interesting.
I use I use anything, whether that shit could be a magic marker, that shit could be some nail polish, some lipstick. It's all about how you do what you do and make it happen.
So you do you see yourself evolving more into the art side?
I dibble dabble in both. Like I do vandalism and I do art. Like this since quarantine's been going on and shit. Like I can't really go outside and do the things that I want to do. Like I actually draw like 4 or 5 pictures a day.
What was the last thing you drew, man?
The last thing I actually drew was a street spot that I hit. Like I'm into like taking pictures and shit like that, then going home like to see if I could draw it. And I don't use pencil and none of that when I draw, so that makes this shit even more fun. Like all the colors and everything gotta be in the right place. The shit is pretty challenging. It's fun and bugged out at the same time. Sometimes I might fuck up and gotta rip the paper up and start all over. But I haven't had those mistakes lately.
One shot deal type of art?
Yeah, I love shit like that.
Is you risky on the streets when it comes to graph? I could see you being risky in the art side of it. You know what I mean?
Some of the pictures that I actually rip up though, like I actually save them and I make collages out of them because that shit actually make dope art within itself.
Ooh.
So everything is not wasted. Everything means something. Like when you sit down and you look at a picture, like every picture has a meaning to it, whether you meant to do it or it was a fuck up or not. Like everything means something.
You know, art is definitely especially in New York City, art is definitely belongs to the eye of the beholder. You know, you have a lot of gentrification coming in, and a lot of those people feel
They
that.
gotta go.
Yeah, I'm about to say they felt that it was art. A person who one of the people that actually made it to the newspapers for going over their shit was a writer named Zexor. How do you feel about what he was doing in the writing world?
I totally respect it. Like I don't like artists who come into our neighborhoods from other hoods and like they see a wall and they're like, yeah, my art will look nice on that wall, and like they'll go over the whole wall, like they'll get permission to go over the wall. Like I hate that shit. One of the reasons I hate that shit is because I risk my freedom to do this, and some of the spots, like you might come out, you might do a spot, you might finish outlining and do your triples, and the cops creep up on you and you get knocked for that spot. And then these street artists, they come and they go over your shit. Like I don't like shit like that. I actually had some static with a street artist recently over some shit. Like we was cool at one point. Like I would talk to them like about graffiti, like the do's and don'ts. Like yo, like you see this, like respect it. Like don't go over it. Like if you're gonna move into this community and do your street art, like you need to learn the history of the neighborhood. Like you need to know what graffiti artist is alive. Like you need to know what graffiti artist passed away. Like you just can't come because you see this coffee in this bagel shop here and like you think your art will look nice to it. So like you want to do your art over it. Like graffiti writers, like some of them, like they're real dangerous when it comes to their name. Like they'll kill you over their shit.
That's a fact.
Like street artists, like they don't like they're not putting that type of energy into this. You know, like they just come, they do what they do. They paint the wall, they take a picture of it, they make an Instagram, and then like they sell it, they sell the art, or like they might get invited somewhere to do some more art. Like graffiti artists, like not all of them got that opportunity.
That's a fact.
So what Zexo was doing, I totally respected. Like I had a street artist recently, like I actually seen one of them today, and that shit got me tight. And it's the second time like they did like they little street art shit on top of my shit. Sometimes I find that shit cool. Like I'll go back and like if they had like nice colors and like they was a little coordinated, like I'll actually leave they shit there and just trace over my outline. Sometimes I'll just come back and do something bigger over it.
That's how some disrespect is disrespect. I don't think they really understand that they be disrespecting sometimes. Like you say, a writer, the thing that the writer go through to put they shit on the wall, police, whatever, violence, and they feel like they have carte blanche to the streets. The streets is theirs, and for some people it's disrespectful, man. Especially if some shit that doesn't even. I'm getting tired of the. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm tired of just seeing like colors on a wall where patterns like it don't it's nothing. It's just they got paid some money to just throw colors on the fucking wall. You know what I mean? That should be trash to me. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, I don't like that shit either. I actually got locked up maybe like a year or two ago because of a street artist. Well, I say like a year ago. Yeah, it was actually 18 months ago because of a street artist. Like they did some shit over me, and I let the shit rock for a minute. Then I actually had like time and energy. Like I had downtime where I could actually go back and fix my shit. I fixed it one time. They came back and did this shit again. And this shit was kind of dumb of me to do because my girl told me stay in the crib and I ain't listen to her. And I kind of went out and did my own thing. I did what I wanted to do. In the midst of me like doing the fill and shit, I colored the fill and I was about to get to the outline part. Then I got into an argument with like some superheroes and shit on the streets talking about that they owned the wall. And when I turned around, like the police was like looking at the whole ordeal. I tried to do the dip and shit, got caught up. A cop tackled me and shit. But to make a long story short, when I was in the bookings and shit, like the street artists, like they had some deal going on with the building owner, and like they both pressed charges.
Get out of here.
Yeah, like the street artist and the building owner pressed charges, and I wind up doing 20 days community service behind that shit.
That's some bullshit. That's some
And
bullshit.
the only reason like I got like where I got convicted is because they had like an actual like videotape of me doing what I did. Like the building had like a camera and shit. Like it shows me like in the act of committing vandalism. If they didn't have that, then I could have beat that shit.
Mm. Yo, I be seeing.
Shit.
Pardon me for cutting you, man. I be seeing your shit in a lot of pictures on the gram, man. Like a lot of pictures, man. There's a person named Raul something. I forgot. Simon or Raul Simon or something like that. I
Well, I
be
don't know who do this, but I love his Instagram page. His shit is dope.
right. I like it, and I seen your shit to come up on his page. I seen your shit come up on mad pages. Um,
I like that dude in particular because he really be in the slums. Like he goes to all five boroughs, and like he doesn't just walk under the train lines. Like that nigga be walking through actual neighborhoods.
True indeed.
Uh, I like photographers like that. Like you got some photographers like they'll stick to like one area. Like they'll stick to either Williamsburg, they'll stick to the Lower East Side, they'll stick to like certain areas. But then you got the few photographers out there like they actually like go into neighborhoods and like they look for shit. I like shit like that. I like the people who display like the history as well.
Have any of your joints wind up on any stars pages?
Yeah, my shit be popping up. I got some shit right now. Some dude, his name is Wiz Kid. He's not even a star, but he's a famous comedian. I got a Phil right now in the background of one of his music videos that he did. He's doing the dance to that Drake song, Tootie Slide, whatever that shit's
Yeah,
called.
Tusi Slide. True indeed.
Yeah, I got a Phil in the background of like that dude's Instagram video. I got a Phil in the background of Who's that dude? Freezer Fresh, I think that's
Get
his
out of
name.
here. Yeah.
I got a fill in the background of one of his videos. I got an outline in the background of one of Nim's FYL videos. He actually did a video in front of one of my fills on the truck. Like he's riding by on a garbage truck, and it shows me and my homie Poe Phil on a box truck. I
I
seen
seen
the
that
video one
video.
time
I
on.
seen that video.
Yeah, I seen that shit one time on Instagram, and that shit disappeared, and I've been looking for that shit ever since. I thought the video was fresh.
I seen it,
Yeah,
man. He's like working a regular job, talking about like what you got to do to.
I come out in a lot of shit though. I came out in Luke Cage a few times. I done came out in Jessica Jones.
Oh wow, oh wow, that's
Yeah.
big things. Big things popping. Big things popping.
It's all
Um,
about placement. I done came out on the news a few times too. Like I hit a wall one time in the Lower East Side, and then like maybe like a week after I hit the wall, like somebody went and drew a big dick on the side of the building, and that shit made like headlines, and that shit came out in the news.
yeah.
Word.
Yo, I know you be aware. That's why I had to ask you, man. We coming to the closing of the interview, so I know just certain things. That I know you. So it's for the people who don't know you. To get familiar with you, man. And give you some light. I think you deserve it. You are really, to me, you are one of the people who keeps NYC true bombing culture alive, true graph culture, period, man. Because I know you rack, you do all that shit, and a lot of these people don't do it. So I respect your outlook on graph. That's why I want to just ask you different things.
I got a motto right now. I got a motto that shit is called "I'm everywhere and nowhere" because I'm actually everywhere and nowhere. Like you might go to Jersey and see random outlines, like. You might go somewhere in the Bronx and see mad random outlines. It's funny, too, because there's a lot of people who think I don't venture off in the Bronx. But when I do go out there, I'm never under the train line. Like, I actually be walking around dudes' neighborhood, popping random fills and outlines. So, like, you'll know that I'll be out there, not under the train. You could go to anybody's hood and walk under the train. That shit is easy to do. But walking through the back blocks, like, that's the fun shit. That's where everything goes down. That nigga might run down on you like, yo, what you doing on my block? Like, why you painting that wall? Like, that's some of the shit that I actually like when I'm painting at night and shit. Like, being places that I'm not supposed to be. Or, like, you might walk through the wrong block and it's, like, a highly trafficked drug area and shit. Like, you could be popping a fill and you might fuck up a nigga's cell and, like, they get mad at shit like that. But that's the type of shit that I like.
That's fucking. I think that's what keeps graph pure. People like you are needed in this culture. You know what I mean? Without the bombers, man, there ain't no pieces, man. There ain't nothing else, man. It's a you are the raw aspect of graph, what graph is based on, which is the illegal aspect of it, and doing what you do, and I respect it. The Vandal, I will respect it.
I'm gonna be here till the wheels fall off. I'm gonna keep doing what I do, but it's all about placement. I'm the type of dude I prefer quality over quantity.
And that's a good thing, man. Any last words you want to say to the Vanderwater peoples and our listeners and stuff like that?
I'd like to thank y'all for having me on the show. I'd like to shout out my family, XTC, PTP, YKK. Y'all already know. Shout out to New York City. I hope everybody, they maintain, they stay focused. The government shouldn't have to tell y'all wash your hands, clean your ass. That's something that y'all should have been doing since birth. I don't know why the man got to tell y'all to do that, but yeah, wash your hands, clean that ass, protect your family, protect your space. You know.
That's a fact, man. That's a fact.
Spread love. It's the Brooklyn way.
It is. Yo, I appreciate you for being on the Vandal Hour. I expect this to be one of our high-rated shows. People want to know what you're thinking, man. When you see the tag by itself, it's always people always want to know, something about the person, man. They wondering, something about the person. And I'm glad you gave us a little bit of insight into the day in the life. And and keep doing what you do, man.
You already, y'all keep doing the things that y'all like to do as well.
So I'ma end the situation like this. Thank you, ZB, for tuning in with us and letting us know what the fuck is going on. I'm Mathematics. Shout out to the Vandal, our gods and goddesses that came before me. Shout out to my right hand man Sosa. Shout out to all our listeners in Germany, in Canada, in Brazil, and everywhere. Keep supporting, keep checking us out. Make sure you go to Spotify, Anchor.fm, YouTube, and everywhere so you could check
Shout out
this.
my nigga High Life Neek. I see you out there, boy. Keep doing your thing.
Yo, shout out to the guard, man. And we appreciate everyone for fucking with the Vandal Hour. We are out of here. Peace.
Peace.